Afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel YTCSC YouTube Celtic Supporters Club. It's me, BB, and Roberto today with a video on the fallout of the statement that came out. What I called the word salad. There was hundreds of words in there, but there was no substance. It was the same old regurgitated nonsense that we've always had from the board. No any idea on we've made a mistake, or we've dropped the ball, this is what we plan to do. Just a case of, here's your statement, we know better than you. Take your medicine and be quiet. Roberto, how you been, mate? How's things?
All good. Glad to be back on. Been busy, doing other things, work, etc. But I'm looking forward to the wee discussion now.
Aye, no worries, mate, no worries. So just wanted to break down that statement. Well, not break it down, but just kind of ask the question, where does it leave Brendan Rodgers? Because the statement tells us that, the board have come out and says they know what they're doing, things have to be in private, etc, etc. But also, as Mark touched on his video last night, the unnamed source briefing to the Sun of all newspapers. So let's get into it, guys. So yes, welcome back, troops. Thank you so much for joining us today, and also thank you very much for helping us grow and support the channel. We're now bust through the 1,000 subscriber mark. We're now kind of close to 1,200. We just keep plugging away, and we couldn't do it without you all. So thank you very much to the YTCSC family. Before we break or go into the statement, Robert, I've not seen you since the cluster beep that was the transfer window, and also Maeda's revelation to the Japanese press that he'd agreed terms with another club and he was wanting to leave, and we couldn't let him go. So what do you think of that? What do you think make of the last week to 10 days developments, mate?
It's just been a debacle after a debacle. It's been an absolute nightmare. It's now coming to fruition of when everybody's thoughts were when the season started. Is Maeda went off the boil? Is his heart in it? Is he the same player, or will he be the same player as he was last year? His body language was there for everybody to see. And then the story broke that he was connected with another club, and putting the pieces together, it all started to make sense. Was it a surprise? No, really. But he can't go anywhere till January. I don't like that, where a player was nearly leaving and he's got another 6 months that he has to stay put, and then after January we'll need to see what happens. He says in the article he's going to still give his all for the club, for the fans. Everybody supported him over the last few years, but there's still a wee bit uneasy in my mind. It's never the same, and it's the same with Big Aida when he left. He was never playing the game last week with the background noise with his transfer, and that materialised when Brendan says he wouldn't be leaving till at least we got another striker in. But we got another striker after the fact when the window shut, which it didn't make sense. It's comedy of errors at the moment, to say the least.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's been a shambles, and I totally take the point. You're like, the player's this, but if he probably feels that he's not getting any other option to come out and say it. You know what I mean? So he's told the club. It's been quiet. It's been private, whatever. But I did think at the end of last season, because of Maeda's performance domestically and in Europe, that he would have been the next asset to go. And see, like, some supporters, some fans of the channel might not agree with us, but we should have got rid of him early doors in the window. Boom, take the money, then you move on, then you know what you're doing. If we had a board that, we kind of know the shambles at how they operate on the recruitment side of things. You go like that, boom, see you later. You lined up with targets. If he's told you at the start of the window or the end of last season, Right, cool. No worries, Dyson. Thank you so much for your service. I'm sure the fans will love it. Let's work behind the scenes. Can you give us your all for the next 4 weeks or next month while we work actively on targets? We'll do our very best to make sure that you leave and we could, you leave on good terms, get a sell-on clause and all that. But it was a shambles, and as you can see yourself, mate, you get all the people coming out saying, Maida, he's great engine and all that, but he's not a good player when it comes out that he wants to leave. But last year he was phenomenal. He was your best player, mate. It was phenomenal. He made that transition to the striker seem easy. So there's no Paul McStay's anymore, mate. There's no Callum McGregor's. There's very rare that we'll get, especially a foreign player, coming and staying with Celtic for a full career of 10 years. So you shake hands, you move on, you turn it round. Like I mentioned on the comment last night about on Mark's video talking about, the board, and we've had these guys there for 10, 12, 15 years. Like, you see Man City on the coaching side of things, behind the scenes, we'll have Guardiola, but he'll change his assistant manager, we'll have all these different coaches at the Etihad campus where they train. It's fresh ideas who understand the modern game. You should have that in the board positions as well. Nobody understands data and recruitment and all that sort of stuff. So you need to accept that you're going to lose these players and move on. So yeah, it'd be hard, it's hard to see, but hopefully he is a professional. But you can tell the chances he's missed in the Kairat games. You know what I mean? If he was fully committed, or he's mentally, he's putting them away, mate. You know what I mean? You've seen that in the semi-final against Aberdeen. We smashed them 6-0. It broke their unbeaten running on it. It was phenomenal. His finishing was amazing. That was mental. And
I just think it's came full circle again. I think it's came full circle again, because when he first came in, his finishing was abysmal. So he was out in the left, and see the crossing were always in the stands. And then last season, he was more a wee bit of a refined article. He get moved into different positions, and he got his goals in the wing. He moved into the middle, and he got more goals. And we just thought there's definitely a player here. But at the start of the season, it makes sense now because of this story when it broke. See, psychologically, in my opinion, see when a player has got one eye on a transfer, there's no going to ever going to be 100% commitment there. He'll be committed for the level that allows him to get the job done, or attempt to get the job done. But see, when you've got one eye going somewhere else, it's difficult. And these stories will break, and then see 3 months after he leaves, another leg of the story will happen, and then you'll think, well, that makes sense. And then the pieces start coming together, and you think, as you said there, why did Celtic not get rid of him sooner? Which leads me to my next question. When he does go, what will we sell him for? Value-wise?
What was that?
What will we sell him for, value-wise?
Oh, now I don't know, mate. You'll not get like anywhere. If he'd have struck with the irons hot when he finished the season, I've mentioned this in a previous video with Mark. Matt O'Reilly went for 25, rising to 30 million with add-ons and stuff like that. Like, that's another whole episode, him even getting a start at Brighton, or very, very little. But Matt O'Reilly's GA, goals and assists or something like that. Eisenmeyer had so many more goals and assists and goal involvements. So I would think at least 30 million. And I know a lot of probably other fans might be like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's the market. That's the market. If Matt O'Reilly's gone for 25 to 30, then at the time, now, 10 million, 11, 12 million, something like that. I know that's still a lot of money, and we'll make money on that, but it's not what we should have gone for, not what we should have got for a player with his level of success with goals and assists. And also, just on the point that you're making about his first season, yeah, he was raw. He's finishing, or his final ball and all that, but it was noted as an absolute engine. You know what I mean? He changed their style of play. It was front foot. If you've got Maeda, you know for a fact that he's going to run on. So we will miss him, mate. But hopefully, as you said there, he stays professional and he does a job. But mate, personally, if you're looking to move on, or if you've maybe had an interview with another company or whatever, and the interviews went well, and you go, oh, it sounds good. You're halfway there. You're kind of thinking about your future there.
Aye.
So exactly
that's the way I see it. But I just feel, I hope from now to January, he puts himself back in the window and he does the business from now to January, because his valuation is going to be up for question. I mean, I think in the minute his market value is anything from, I don't know if it's between 13 to 17 million.
Yeah.
As you said, when and if he goes in January, we could have get in the excess of 25 to 30 million, but I don't think that'll be the case now.
Nah. Well, don't get me wrong. Sorry. Another point is we have got another 2 left wingers now. You know what I mean? So we have got options. Balikwisha and Tunetki. Hopefully, I'm not killing the pronunciation, but you know, at least Brendan's got options if he doesn't feel mind is committed. But just my 2 bob on the statement. Mentioned that on a group chat last night, mate. When it came out, I was like, word salad, blah blah blah, rinse and repeat. You could probably dig out a previous statement from a previous Champions League disaster campaign, whatever, or sustainable, we need to do this, and then to have the absolute brass neck to go, transfers are they're difficult, whatever. No, they're no. They're other clubs completely go in, boom, boom, identify targets. There's the thing. We lowball people. We don't give them whatever. And what I've heard was that, I don't know if it was Stephen McGowan from the Daily Mail. I don't know. He's a very respected Scottish journalist, mate. He's on the money and he's got some contacts within Scottish football, Celtic, Rangers, you know what I mean, in terms of sources. And I don't know if it was him or somebody else, basically said that the club was in a state of paralysis, right? It could not do anything because every decision, every player that they were trying to go through, they had to go and speak to Dermot Desmond, who's like, no, offer them this, offer them that. So I don't know how much truth that's got, but apparently that's the chain of command, right? It has to go to Dermot Desmond. Oh, get him that. Like the fact that we killed the Dolberg deal stone dead at the very, very start, and we were just kicking it down the can, is apparently we lowballed them straight away and they went right by, and then they started negotiating with Ajax. Absolute amateur. I said it before on a previous video. Players are like that, you're cheap, because there's millions of clubs out there. People go elsewhere if they can get better clubs, better treated, better wages or whatever. So it's just a shambles, man. It's just a shambles of
I know.
an organisation. You don't, like, how do you plan that? But yeah,
It gets to the stage where he doesn't want to come to Glasgow. That was the last thing I read on that deal. He opted out, and whether he just didn't want to come to Glasgow. Everything was the debacle behind the scenes. He must have went, nah, I'm out of here.
yeah. What was the guy for Chelsea? I know, Fofana. He's like, I'd rather go to Charlton, and then that fell through, and he didn't get any club, and he'd rather anyway.
Yep.
Absolute shambles. I saw 20-minute Tims, who pretty much summed up the situation on the start of one of the podcasts. It was like, last year we were a Champions League team, wanted to Bayern Munich, sold all our players. Now we're a Europa League team. Go figure. You get what you pay for. Honestly, if you're going to kick about with 2 million for Negrin, who has started all right, but 2 million for Negrin, 200 grand for Inamuna, project signing here. There you go, deal with that. It's not as if we're Real Madrid. We've got a team of Galacticos, and you just say to the manager, "Well, you work it out." We've not got anybody of note that we can really pin our hopes on against this season. So yeah, but what I want
to
do,
enhance the squad for your position of strength. I'm flabbergasted to think why we've not done it. I just, as you said, the club have actually, well, Brendan says he didn't want to maintain the team, but they're not even getting maintained at the minute. I don't understand why, when you're at some level of the Champions League last year and you've actually imploded and you've put all that hard work and progression and dedication to get to that level and deliberately put yourself back 3 spaces. It beggars belief.
Yeah, totally, mate. As I said, if you kick on from where you are and bring in some quality in the back line, quality up front, 3 or 4 players, maybe spend whatever, I don't know, just solidified this Japanese project players and all that. I feel sorry for the guys, because I thought Yamada looked bright in the second half against Rangers, a bit of, breaking the lines and stuff like that, and I think he will do a job for us, but it's just a shambles, mate. But what I wanted to kind of just move on to was the main subject of the video, mate. The main title of the video is, where does that statement leave Brendan? right? So the statements, everything's cool. Well, not everything's cool, but we know what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. We don't like it being talked about in the media. We do things in private. You don't do anything in private because we've not got any deals. You've not concluded anything. So that's a moot point. Oh, well, we've been doing this sustainable. And then in the next line, we do have significant cash reserves, right? You're like, well, sell them, spend it then. Because we're the guys, not me personally, I don't have a season ticket, mate. I'm on that waiting list, doing out by the bins, waiting on a ticket. But I buy occasional tickets, friendlies, cup games, wherever I can. My boys got all the taps, I've got taps. So I support the club. I spend money doing it. You're the same. You're sitting there with the new tap, one of 95 that came out this year, expecting you to American range, Pride range, you name it, whatever. Why don't we do a transfer window special with 10 new taps with all players inside them? You know what I mean? How about that? That'd be a nice surprise. Yeah, so the statement, like, we know what we're doing, and then the unnamed source briefing against Brendan to Roger Hanna of the Sun. So what do you think about that, mate? What's Brendan going to be thinking about his next move or getting into work, whatever? Like, do you think the place is toxic?
As we were talking about it off earlier, again, without repeating myself, but I just feel he's got a moral obligation now, to see the 3 years out. Definitely, not to sound pessimistic here, but he'll not be here next year. And I think most fans have came to that realisation of, right, okay, a lot of people that I've spoke to previously, when they've blamed him with the debacle with the transfer window, if they'd walked, but the tail end of last season, he spoke once, twice, three times, like numerous times, they would see his 3 years out. So I think morally, and what happened the last time, he's going to stick to his guns and see the 3 years out. Of course, we're in the Europa League. It's a place no Celtic fan wanted to be. But I think he's got a wee bit of an ego, and he'll still want a crack at it. Because it's his legacy. He came in and he wanted to make inroads in Europe, which we discussed earlier. He did last year. But I think he'll definitely want a crack at the Europa this year. But with the personnel, not to sound doom and gloom, but I can't see any light at the end of the tunnel at the minute, because the players that he's brought in, we've not seen much of them, if any. So time will tell with that one.
That is not me. That's my personal opinion. After the changes or the players you sold, what you've got left, looking at our last few games, struggling to score a goal, struggling to make a chance, we will get absolutely set about in that Europa League campaign, mate. Honestly, because there is no fear factor. If a team from Kazakhstan, 310 places below Celtic in the rankings, or the 310th team ranked in Europe, I'm not sure where that 310 comes from. If they can come and press us and nullify us, like, I'm not meaning every other team will do exactly that, but they will have no fear of doing that, of turning up to Celtic Park, the fabled Celtic Park atmosphere. We're weak, we're killing we're hurting ourselves from within, selling players, briefing against the manager, whatever, players no happy because they've said, I've ran my time here, can you let us go? Well, we can't get a replacement. So I think the Europa League campaign will be a horror show, mate. Red Star
I'm not
Belgrade
looking forward to it.
from home. Hopefully I'm wrong, mate, because I want us to do well. But nah, I think this is a crossroads of the club and Brendan Rodgers. So yeah, I think
They've caused it themselves. They've caused it themselves, and we shouldn't be in this position. We just shouldn't be in this position. I was speaking to a pal of mine, and he says when we get beat off the Kazakhstan mob, he says the joke was you get beat off a team where their name looks like a Wi-Fi password. it's it's crazy. It's
oh Jesus, that's a belter. But
I'll
yeah.
need to, I'll need to, we'll need to see. We'll need to see.
Aye, mate, it's going to be a long campaign. Hopefully we get some victories and etc. But I can't see it unless I see he's doing some personal training for the cameras. Is that, if you're Me personally, mate, I've always been that person. But, you know, you don't be one of those guys that, or one of those people that post on social media, give a wee fiver to a homeless person. Oh, I'm amazing. You just do it. Don't invite cameras to take pictures when you're training individually to show you're doing it. Just do it. Do it behind the scenes. Work out. Turn up at Lennoxtown in the fittest possible way. Don't take photos and show I'm working hard.
I hope
I
they're
get it.
recent.
You're doing it, but
See
why
the
do you?
videos. I hope they're recent.
He's got a Man City tap on. Working hard. So yeah,
It's-
mate. So
but some of the pictures where he was carrying a bit of timber, he was, and you're like, surely he's no. So hopefully he's getting himself up to a good fitness level, and it's we were talking about it last week. We need a dig. We need somebody that comes in and says, "Do you know what? Let's make things happen on the park." Nothing's like that. I mean, see last week. See if their goal had stood. Where was Celtic's goal coming from?
Nobody knows. When was the last time we had a more than 2 shots on target in a whole entire game? It's pass. Because as Brendan touched on, guys are no confident. That's because they want to leave. Maeda's like, I'm checked out, man. I'm done. I've told my wife we're going to go to Brentford, or, you know, what I'm agreeing personal terms. And then, oh, sorry, we can't get you a replacement. So you'll just need to suck it up and saying and try and do a job for us. It's a shambles. It's poorly managed, poorly executed in terms of how you manage your playing squad. And as I said, we don't know. Nobody knows. That's why it's all conjecture and rumours, whatever. But if that's the case, everything's got to go up the chain to Dermot Desmond. Then, like, what sort of way is that to run a club? You know what I mean? He's a majority shareholder. These figurehead positions, right? Obviously, he's not a majority shareholder. I think he owns 37%. Blah blah blah. Les Tain, I think, is another guy that owns a few shares, etc. But you should have figurehead positions. You know, like Billy McNeil would be the chairman because he's an absolute legend, but he's a figurehead. But he's no doesn't make any. The chief executive, the CEO, the head of football operations. These are the guys that make the decision in and out. If there's any serious conversations about changing the manager or whatever, then the board and all that get involved. But trust your day-to-day people and change it every 3 to 4 years, man. Get fresh ideas, fresh people in.
Yep.
I just wanted to, just before we finish off, mate, I just wanted to ask, obviously the unnamed source talking to Roger Hanna and his son, who do you think that would be? Who do you think's briefing against the manager? Do you think it's the board level, or is like, what do you think that's comfy?
I've no idea. The truth be told, I've no idea. It could be a number of people, and again, it's, as you say, speculation and conjecture. It's just, again, we shouldn't be in this position. I read an article the other day there, and they were talking about the UEFA stability, and I think it was in the actual statement last night about the UEFA stability rules, and you think we're nowhere near that. We manage the club, or the club manage themselves to stay in that parameter. I don't quite get that. But it's going to be it's going to be an interesting one. It really is.
Did you just get that mad alert there?
I just got the alert.
Sorry.
So it'll be interesting going forward, but I just hope the players, and I'm pleading with everybody here, I'm just hoping when we kick on, there's a bit of unity there, and we just can go back to doing what we're good at, playing football the Celtic way.
Yeah, mate, I literally just wrote that down on my pad there. Mark mentioned that last night, and I think as a fan base, we need to do that. I thought that was a bit sneaky with I don't know if it was Michael Nicholson or somebody from the board having a meeting with one Celtic Supporters Association and a separate meeting there. Is that for two different narratives? Oh, aye, we're trying this, or we're doing our very best. And another one, it's Brendan, he's not getting divide and conquer. But I think as a group of fans, fan media, Celtic fans, and the players can't no be distracted by all the crap that's going on, all the whatever, you must read a paper, you must hear it. Maybe Cal Mack's disciplined. I've heard he's a very professional guy. He just kind of goes away. Maybe he's Forrest's no on social media, but you can't no hear it. But I think we need to stick together, because the statement was like, I took from that as like, there's your statement, put up, we know better than you do, but by the way, can you make sure that you keep buying the taps and keep buying the season tickets and all that? So
there was a lot of corporate language in that. There was a lot of corporate language, and it was a lot of pacifying language to say, there's our statement, this is how we do it. Tough titty.
I mean, it was like, I said that on a group chat. It was like, it was like you know, like a politician, oh, well, I'm really sorry for that because of blah, blah, blah. He's been caught and all that. But another what I liked was, they see that you mentioned about the UEFA sustainability rules and all that. It was like, let's explain it to the little people. This is what we have to do. There's lots of smart Celtic fans out there that understand the FSR, the financial sustainability regulations. We are not, our turnover to wages, we're nowhere near that. We're not anywhere near
I don't
that.
think so.
So we've also got significant cash reserves that you could say to UEFA, well, this is how sustainable we are. We don't spend any of the money that we make. We put it in a wee pot for a rainy day, just in case our fans moan, and then we can say, oh, well, this is what we're doing. So yeah, I think their time's up, man. Bye-bye. But the difference from the new to back in the day when Fergus McCann and all that is, Dermot Desmond was a billionaire. The Kellys and the Whites did not have a pot to piss in, so they needed the money, right? And then if we boycotted back in the days, there was no season ticket holders. There was no season tickets. You boycotted, you fucked the club. You skint them. Now you've got a season ticket, so they're like, but that only lasts for so long. So hopefully something changes. But it'll be very interesting to see Brendan's comments on his next press conference, and also what starting 11 we play against Kilmarnock. Was that a week yesterday, the 13th, for away at home at Rugby Park? So yeah, mate. But yeah, I think we should all stick together, continue the same message, keep the pressure up. All the fan channels, all the fan media, just continue to kind of beat the drum that we're not having it. The Green Brigade, the North Curve, everybody should all stay the same and just keep the pressure up. Banners, everything, just let them all constantly, because they have no clue, they have no connection to the fans. They do not understand it. They just think it's from a corporate side of things. Oh, we're no better than you. So yeah, mate. Roberto, final thoughts, my friend.
Should have come out. A statement should have come out, and somebody should have owned up to what was going on. Whether it be Nicholson or Law or anybody, just come out and say, this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it.
Totally.
It's never happened. And then, as you said, it's 2 wee sneaky meetings, and then the club put a statement out last night, and we'll see what happens. Nah, it's not very nice. It's not sitting comfortable with myself, you, a lot of the fans. It's just not sitting comfortable. But again, let's try and unite. I'm quite a positive guy most of the time, and I just want to see a better product on the park. The players that came in after the window, we'll just need to see. I'm hoping these guys turn up and make an impact and do the business of why. I mean, he's just went and brought a player in who used to play for Leicester, and it just looks like a favour.
Aye. No, but see, the thing is, that, like, we mentioned that in a previous video, that's pure Brendan. That Iheanacho was never mentioned at all, anything close to Celtic, the whole window. And then all of a sudden, oh, Celtic are looking at that. That's Brendan, or somebody who Brendan
Black Book.
Brendan's
He's
manager.
like that with his Black Book. They're a guy. He's got
exactly.
a
You
free
did him a
transfer.
favour. Next minute, his contract's cancelled because Sevilla or Skin want him off the wage bill, and because we've cancelled his contract, that means that we'll probably need to pick up his 50, 60, 70 grand a week wages. And the fact it was a year was because Brendan's like, I'm toast. I'm not going to be here, so you can there's a favour for a year. We'll get you a no bad contract. Excellent. Yeah. So
Aye.
I have to say it's an absolute shambles. I think the one thing that comes out of this, mate, is unity. We all stick together. We're not buying it anymore. We're not falling for it. We just need to keep up the pressure, see how we go. And I have to be completely honest with you, mate. Like, I know this, I might get crucified in the comments, but it is what it is. It's just my opinion. But like the actual football, the league and the whatever, I'm over that now, man. I'm just like, what are these goons, man? Get these goons out of the club. If we need to take the hit, we need to take the hit. There's no excuse for Rangers not to win the league because they've been backed. They've backed a manager who the fans don't even like. Like, we love Brendan Rodgers and they're not even giving him any money. They've spent 30 odd million, so there's no excuse for them to win the league now. But we just need to. We're a shambles, mate. In the space of 6 weeks, or 3 months since July, since the season pre-season started, it's just been an absolute shambles.
Before we go, Brian, I was just going to ask you, out of the current squad, Who's cutting the mustard for you and who's not?
Out of the current squad in terms of the new players, or just everybody?
Just everything. It's just when you says the product on the park at the moment isn't happening.
No.
So who's
I would
the
say
guys in the squad that are
who,
annoying you
who
at the
I've
minute?
who I've saw that I thought's been all right. Sinisalo, AJ before he got injured. KT, he will come good, and it's probably just a fitness thing. McGregor's been off it. Hatate's been off it. Negrin's been all right, but he's not a winger. And I think
He's getting played in the wrong position.
they need to get him in the midfield better, because I think he's it's not suited for him. Who've I? Dane Murray. Dane Murray's been a nice thing to see, because he's come in there, and that also bends the question: what's happening with this boy Simpson Pusey? If he's been loaned for Man City for experience, then you don't put him in the Europa squad. So
I
that
can't.
asked me: is he a Brendan signing? Was he like mental?
I don't know why he's there at all. I really don't know why he's anywhere near the club. No disrespect to the boy, but he's going to stay here for a season. I think it was more a development side. He was in the squad and then he's not a chance. So he's going to go back down the road and guaranteed, I don't think he'll even play 6-7 games for us. I don't see the point in it. I really don't see the point in it.
Stopgap, waste of time and resources. The boy was the PL2 player of the season last year, so he's got a good pedigree. He's coming from Man City. He looks a big, strong boy, probably athletic. What's up with giving him a shot, getting him in, to help us in the short term? Because that is our vision is short term, a season at a time. We don't seem to plan. But yeah, I would throw the same question back to yourself, mate. Is it who have you thought's been all right?
Again, this could be one for the comments here, but he's a whipping boy more often than not. But I think the steadiest player has been Scales. I just think defensively he's done his job to the best of his ability. The only thing that's letting him down is his distribution sometimes. That 10-15 yard pass for the back. But again, defensively, I think in the last few games, he's done his job to the best of his ability. To me, Sales, but he always comes up for a bit of slagging, and he gets a hard time. I think the boy's done really good. AJ was doing well till he got that injury, but I just feel at the minute in the middle of the park, we need a Paul McStay, we need a Scott Brown, we need somebody creative. And I think, again, leave up to the comments here, but I just feel, my opinion, somebody like Callum McGregor, he's playing it too safe. I mean, I like McGregor, and I think he's been absolutely fantastic for us. But at the moment, he's not got that grit that he maybe had 2 seasons ago to say, do you know what, I'm going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's just my opinion, what I'm watching at the minute. But we just need a digger in there. Somebody says, do you know what, let's try and make things happen. And if somebody takes the bull by the horns, let's feed these wingers, let's feed the front men, and let's get these goals, because it's not happening at the minute. It's just not happening. And it's hard to say, because we've got that theory of playing football the Celtic way. It's just not happening in the minute. Fast, free flowing. Let's get in about it. Let's get in about the opposition. It's just not happening. And as you said, it can get monotonous. It can get mundane at the moment. But hopefully, Brendan gets it fixed, sorted. It's just, so he'll give these players a chance, I feel. And again, he's in for a bit of criticism at the minute with the style of football he's playing, but the quality of player, we've touched on it a million times, the quality of player we've had in recent weeks just isn't up to par. It just really isn't. But hopefully he gets a tune out of these new guys, and we start winning games again.
Yes, mate, yes. I think Brendan's like, because he's got the same, there's no freshness, there's the same style, stale from top to bottom, mate. Stale, and I feel for Callum McGregor, he's a phenomenal football player. It's just my personal opinion. He's not that nasty guy, right? Maybe you don't need to be, but I think he's took a couple of losses now, mate. The final, missing penalties, etc. So maybe he's like, anyway, hopefully not. But yeah, mate. So going to wrap up for today, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to kind of chew the fat with your
Brilliant.
good self,
Thank you.
Roberto.
Superb.
So Thank you to our audience, the YTCSC crew. Love yous all. So thank you very much for your support, and keep commenting, keep getting the feedback in there. Like, share and subscribe. Have a beautiful Sunday, and hail to everyone.
Hail, guys. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.